Qualified dividends versus unqualified dividends. That's what I'm talking about today. Unqualified dividends have a higher tax rate. They go from 10% if it's $11,000 to 37% at the top of $578,125. 37% taxes on dividends that are unqualified. MLPs, Master Limited Partnerships, REITs, I'm pretty sure business development companies, I'm not sure for sure, but that's why you need a tax advisor. You need somebody who does your taxes for you when you have dividends. Because if it's a qualified dividend, you own a domestic corporation, stock in a domestic corporation, you hold the stock for a certain amount of time, and then the amount goes way down. 0% if you make $44,625 in dividends that are qualified. If it's $44,625 to $492,300, then you're taxed at a 15% rate. If it's $492,300 or more, the tax rate goes up to 20%. It is the most ridiculous thing to have a tax rate of 37%. If you make $11,000 in unqualified tax dividends, they're taxed at 10%. It goes all the way up to 37% for if you make $578,125 a year. This is for 2023. People thinking that, oh, well, that's only for rich people. Why would anyone have to pay a 37% tax rate on anything? That's ridiculous. I understand that when people give away money, it's 0% that you have to pay in taxes until it reaches a certain amount, and then it's 40%. But on this video, we're talking about qualified dividends and non-qualified dividends. Qualified dividends, there are a lot of domestic companies that you can get qualified dividends on. You have to talk to your financial advisor and find out which of the ones in your particular portfolio are qualified and which ones are unqualified. I remember, I think it was George Bush 43 was suggesting that we get rid of the tax on dividends. I'm for that. I don't see why a person would have to pay 37% of the money that they risk their income, they risk their capital to buy stock and have the government take over a third of it. That's ridiculous. But that's the state of our country right now. So, if you find the qualified dividend stocks, you can make up to $44,625 on that stock. The examples I'm using are just strict dividends. I'm not, any other income from other sources. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you were living on 100% on all of your dividends and you made $44,625, you wouldn't pay any taxes if it was qualified. If it's $44,625 to $492,300, then you do have to pay 15%. If you make $492,300 more than that, then it's 20%. That's a little high, but it's more reasonable. If you make, so if you have XYLD, QYLD, or RYLD, I believe those go under the, the unqualified tax dividend. So if you're getting 11 or 12% on a covered call ETF, the government takes more money out of your pocket. If you only made $11,000 on that unqualified dividends, the government's got their hand out for 10%. If you go all the way up to $578,125, the government's got their hand out for 37%. What have they done to earn your money? I don't know. That's the state right now. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. I was trying to find out if NEP was qualified or unqualified tax dividends. I couldn't find out. I Googled it. I might have to talk to the company. But before you're overboard in certain stocks, you might want to check out whether they're qualified or unqualified dividends. Have a great... This is not financial advice. I'm not advising you to do anything but talk to a tax consultant. Have a nice day.